going right for the Yankees, I think you need to do it.
I will bring this up. And kind of as hearing this debate go on, I kind of now going to Nick's side only because I think if Montgomery comes up, it's also more of Jacob's side too because he brought up a good point. Where if Montgomery comes up and he's pitching well, you obviously don't want to get rid of him. You don't have to send him down. So I think maybe you're going to have to wait this out a little bit and see if Montgomery it comes back and it's not been the same after a couple of starts, maybe a little more than a couple because you want to give him a shot, and you think you need to add an extra pitcher in there, then go ahead and make the move. But right now, I'd say maybe it's a little too early.
And that's fine, because right now it's June. The trade deadline is July 31st. What I'm saying
I don't think anyone is saying, I'm sorry for cutting off, but I don't think anyone is saying that the Yankees should trade for Cole Hamels tomorrow.
No, I'm not saying trade for Cole Hamels tomorrow. What I'm saying is, if you can get this deal right, meaning getting the deal...
Wait a minute, you did say that, because you brought up the fact that you could get him cheap now. That's what you said.
Right, I did say that you can get him cheap now, but I'm not saying trade from tomorrow. What I'm saying is, it's June 1st right now. The trade deadline is more than a month away right now.
I think what Eric meant was, and Nick, you're guilty of this too.
See? It's not just me.
No, it's not, but you're both idiots.
Okay, fair enough.
Here's the issue. First up, you guys can't phrase sentences, number one. Number two, Eric is saying that as July 31st gets closer, the price may go up.
Yes.
That's the issue, because you're going to have more teams bidding for him.
I thought I prefaced that, but I guess not.
Now, that is a blanket statement. It may not be true. You don't know how the market is going to play out. I will tell you, Sonny Gray, the Yankees were really the only team that was really in on him. And Verlander especially. The Astros were the only team in on him because they had the waiver claim. So, you're talking about two different things. Eric, I think you won the debate just because Nick didn't bring up the point about Montgomery, but I'm not sold on trading for Hamels. I like Hamels a lot. I wouldn't be upset if they traded for him, but I don't think they need him. That's
I'm not sold on trading for him, and if you're dying for pitching right now, I don't see a problem in bringing up Chance Adams now and seeing what you got in him.
I agree with you 100%. Call up Adams, call up Sheffield.
Sheffield, it's about time. We've heard about him for long enough.
Yeah, Sheffield is raking. Oh, my goodness gracious. You are listening to Beyond the Game on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. That was really fun. I like that. We are live twice a week. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 3 p.m. I am Jacob Valk. Sitting across from me, Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Nick Ohrnberger. Number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. You know what I just realized? I knew I was forgetting to do something. The program director gave me some Ducks tickets to give away, and I never did it. Oops. That's really funny.
Well, now's your chance.
It's too late now. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Sorry, Sean. I can't do it. I'll do it on Tuesday. I promise I'll do it on Tuesday. So tonight, the Mets will continue their 4-game series at Citi Field against the Cubs. There we go. I'll make it up to them by talking about the Mets. What are your thoughts on the series, guys?
Do they even have to play?
Yeah,
anymore?
Right.
Do they really?
Just chalk up the losses now.
I mean, yesterday was an interesting scenario. I don't know if you saw it, but they had Seth Lugo start the game, and they only had him go 4 innings max.
Yeah,
because obviously, he's been more of a reliever this year. So.
I don't want Lugo as a starter. I'll tell you that right now. He's much better in the pen.
He was doing well. He was doing well and then
Nick,
obviously...
do me a favor. When you're coughing, turn away.
Sorry.
And then they brought in Robles, and obviously every time he comes on, I mean, his initials are HR. You know what's going to happen. And
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic, not going to lie. But I will say this: they're lucky to be versing a right-hander tonight because they've been getting destroyed by left-handers throughout the whole season, and they have 3 out of the 4 games is against left-handers, so they're lucky tonight. Maybe they'll get a little bit, but I mean the Mets, they're trying to not fall below 500 for once, because if they lose tonight, they'll be under 500 for the first time this season. So after that hot 11-1 start or everything else,
I think I saw something that the Mets have been in first place in the NL East more than any other team so far this year. But,
really?
Yeah. Well, they came out like a bat out of hell. 11-1.
Yeah, so, as of recently, too.
Yeah, I mean, they've fallen off a cliff since. I don't want to see Seth Lugo in the starting rotation, but with everyone and their grandmother getting hurt for the Mets, they kind of had to start Lugo.
Thankfully, Jason Vargas finally had a good outing.
I know.
Finally. Oh,
yeah, it's about damn time.
And then you have Zach Wheeler tonight, who's 2-4, 5.40 ERA, taking on Tyler Chatwood, 3-4, 4.10 ERA.
Yeah, Chatwood's pretty good. I like him. Wheeler, man alive. You want to talk about someone who can't value prospect? Sandy Alderson.
The whole Mets organization.
I say it all the time.
It just reminds me of the Knicks. They can never find anything right, and they're just going to they're screwed for the next 10 to 15 years, I feel like.
They got to start the rebuild now.
Thank you.
They've got to start the rebuild now.
That's what I've been saying. Trade Porzingis.
The
No,
rebuild.
I can't do that right now.
The rebuild is something you should always accept if you see your team's on the decline. I am such a fan of the rebuild because if you do it fast, if you do it right, if you do it at the right time, it will be faster and it'll be like 2 to 3 years instead of 5 to 7 or even longer, depending how dumb your team is.
And fans appreciate honesty.
Yeah.
They do. They'll understand.
That's like with the Rangers. What they did at the deadline, I think that was the perfect move. Obviously, a lot of Ranger fans are going to be upset at it. I know Joe Ritter and Carpe Diem, yeah, whatever his name is. I only know him by Drew, sorry.
Yeah.
But, obviously they were upset by it at the time, but it's a move that I feel like if your team is on decline, like, to me...
He actually was not upset over it. He took it like a champ.
The
He loved it.
Seahawks, I feel like, too, is a team where, their kind of defense wasn't falling apart, so they kind of got rid of some pieces.
But it's easier because you have the quarterback already.
Yes, but but you see it, though. They missed out on the playoffs last year, and I don't think, to be honest, looking at their team this year, I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they're really taking charge yet, to be honest.
The issue with the Mets doing a rebuild is who's the guy that you can point to and say, this is who we're going to rebuild around? Is it Nimmo? Because he only really has the 1 year this year.
Yeah.
So is he the kind of guy who you can point to and say, this is our future? I don't know how Met fans would feel towards that. Their best trading chip are guys like Syndergaard and DeGrom, and that's going to be really tough to see those guys go because I like them a lot. Kills me to say it because I'm a Yankee fan, but once again, I feel like I need to say this. I was right. DeGrom is having a much better year than Syndergaard. See, believe it or not, I actually know a little bit about the Mets. So, time for another edition of the Fantasy Frenzy. Nick likes this one.
I don't know why, but
because
it makes me laugh every time.
I feel like everything makes you laugh.
I just love...
You love life.
I love life, and I love that actor especially. I always forget his name.
Chris Lee, was it?
It is Chris Lee.
All right, there we go. Also played Count Dooku.
Yes, he did.
Dominic.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Dominic.
So I'm going to go to fantasy football for one reason and one reason only is because I did a mock draft before. I had a pretty successful mock draft. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Nobody, in terms of Jacob and Eric, say really who my top guy I wanted was. Please don't.
I won't.
But
I got it wrong.
That's all I'm going to say.
He called the quarterback I wanted. So I'm excited for the season. I'm getting into it early. And I'm excited.
All right, sounds good. Eric?
I'm actually going to go to fantasy football also, and this is from actually piggybacking off you because you had the draft board right in front of you. Saquon Barkley cracked the top 10, and I'm very impressed. He was actually ranked higher than Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
so
Leonard Fournette was ranked a little low to me. He was at number 14. I think he should deserves to be in the top 10, 100%.
Alvin Kamara was at 9. That is way too high for him.
Yeah, especially obviously like you mentioned before, Jacob, is that Mark Ingram's not going to be there for the support as well because obviously they're a good 1-2 punch. So
yeah. Nick?
I just have an overall generalization about the fantasy football draft this coming year. I think people get your quarterbacks late. Just get your quarterbacks in the 3rd or 4th round. This is going to be an easy year for quarterback.
I was going to say, Dominic did that. He even waited past the 3rd and 4th round by picking... No, I'm not going to say it.
No.
When did you get your guy? Round 5?
Can you tell me after the show?
I'll tell you after.
All right. Is it embarrassing?
No.
Not at all.
Definitely not for you.
When did you pick him?
I think round 5.
Oh, really? Did you really?
I think like 5th or 6th.
I was going to say, you may have just given it away, Dominic. I don't know.
Nah, that's all right.
Good for you. I'm proud of you.
So I'm going to bring it back to fantasy baseball. Kyle Barraclough is now the Marlins closer, taking over for Brad Ziegler, who only had one blown save this year, but Mattingly pulled the trigger on it. Can't say I blame him. Wasn't having a great year. Pick this guy up. Kyle Barraclough has great stuff. I really, really like this guy. Who is that? I can't say it.
You have very awful handwriting.
I know, but yes, you're correct.
Do, but you did
right.
get it, Nick. Good job.
Good. I'm so happy. People care about the things I care about now.
So we got about 2.5 minutes left. Wow. Nice. I like that.
Flew.
Yes, it did. Well, Cole Hamels did pretty good with that. It's time for the bottom of the 9. Guys, you can go long now. Dominic, go ahead, buddy.
Jets. Yeah.
They are
the Jets.
We didn't get to talk about the Jets that much. We haven't been,
Why
honestly.
would we?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to talk about with the NFL.
Josh Rosen is impressing, and I haven't heard anything about Sam Darnold. That's my Jets.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy with the Jets team. I'm going to be honest. I've been seeing a lot of these copy and paste stuff on Twitter about your favorite Jets players.
Yeah, I did that.
Everybody. I haven't done it yet, but I saw a lot of interesting things about picking with safeties, that they choose Kerry Rhodes over Jamal Adams, and I'm all for it. Kerry Rhodes was a great safety. Jamal Adams has only had one season in the NFL. He hasn't proven it yet.
Yeah, I forgot who I put at safety, but I know a quarterback I put Mark Sanchez.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he's actually your favorite quarterback?
Can you pick a year, Mark Sanchez?
He's the most successful quarterback that the Jets have had in my lifetime.
That's fair. I just always loved Chad Pennington as just a young fan.
Adam Marshall. Back-to-back AFC title appearances at 3 good years for the Jets. I'll take that. If Sam Darnold can do that, that's more than I've had in about...
Oh, he'll do more
how
than
long?
that.
7 years? I don't know.
It's so nice to hear you say Sam Darnold and smile at the same time. It's actually
what? It's more of a visual, and I like that.
Oh, man. My safety was Jim Leonard. That's who it was. I liked him.
Jim Leonard was...
he
made Eli bleed.
Him. Eric?
All is right in Yankee land, except for the fact that rain ruined my baseball yesterday because I didn't get to watch the Yankees pummel the Orioles, possibly, so I'll get to see that tonight.
Why, you didn't talk about you didn't watch the Mets game? Come on.
No, I did not.
He didn't want to see Hansel Robles.
You would have fell asleep, don't worry.
Yeah, he didn't want to see Robles and Blevins pitch.
Yeah, no, I only fall asleep from working so much. I would sit and watch him. I've done that before. I actually went to the game where Vargas was pitching against the Marlins, and he looked like a major league pitcher.
Only go to a Mets game if you're getting something free.
Nick?
My favorite NFL player of all time, and this is actually on that list that I put out, but he is actually my favorite player of all time. Eric Berry is coming back from his injury, started OTAs this week.
Your brother.
And
yeah, how was your favorite NFL player, not your brother?
Because he's not as good. He wasn't as good.
And I was throwing people under the
Rich
bus.
knows it.
Man.
But I mean,
Rich, shots fired, buddy.
I'm just so happy to see him come back. This is a guy who's battled cancer, he's battled injury throughout his career. He's an inspiration, and I'm happy to see him return to football.
So my mom is turning 25 on Monday, and I got the date right this year. It is Monday. Remember that last year? I said the wrong
Yeah,
thing.
25. When did she have you?
Oh, man. Believe it or not, I was an ectopic pregnancy. How about that, huh? There's only one person in this room who knows what that is, and that's me. No, I was not an ectopic pregnancy. I'm just kidding.
Is that
I don't even know how to spell that.
Is that the virgin birth? Is that what that is?
No, just look it up on your own time. All right. Looks like we're about out of time here on Beyond the Game. For Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Nick Ohrnberger, I am Jacob Valk saying that teams can't prepare for me in batting practice because they can't find anyone who throws as slow as I do.